Right, so welcome to my channel. This is the first official video that I'll be starting on YouTube, where I just fumble and mess about with FPV stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for the ride. Today got ourselves a GPS to install on my brand new 5-inch. I built this for the sole purpose of cinematography and all types of things like that. It's obviously also a passion of mine just to fly and enjoy, but yeah, we get to see a lot of content from this guy. I built it recently. There wasn't really a build video out. There might just be something on my Instagram, just a short thing of the build, short little bit of video of the build. But yeah, just to break it down, it's a 6S build. I'm flying analog. It is a 1.8 watt, a Foxear Reaper Extreme VTX paired with Hammer long range antennas. I've been finding, well, just from all the research that I did and a couple of guys in the community, it seems to be one of the best antennas out there for long range. It's paired with a Speedy F7 stack, 50 amp. Also pretty good ratings that I found out from it. The motors are XING E-PROs. They are the 2207 1800 kV motors. They pack quite a punch with the 6S power. I am flying Hglrc. I recently was on Crossfire, but just with the new build and everything that I've done recently, I just did a complete switch to Hglrc. Just in terms of all the good news I've been hearing on it, and the range, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This is the Caddx baby rattel 2 camera that I picked out for it. Color on it is quite nice. You guys should see that come out in a future video, some raw FPV footage. And yeah, the frame is it's from Axis Flying. It's the Axis Flying Manta 5. Don't know if you guys can see there in the video. Really nice frame. Really happy with it. One of my mates, Benji, in Cape Town, printed it out for me. All my 3D prints for the frame. Nice guy. And yeah, that's pretty much all the parts of the build. I'm flying a Radiomaster TX16, and yeah, we're paired with Skyzone O30 goggles. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to be pretty good. I've only maiden her twice. I've made her. You can only do one maiden. I've maiden her once and flew her twice. So yeah, it's been good. She's performed really well, but this build has cost me a lot of money. A lot of money. So yeah, if anything were to go wrong with this quad, if I were to lose this quad, I will cry.
Hello darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again.
Anyways, so my buddy Andrew from the UK sent me this GPS. I'm in South Africa, if you guys don't know that, so big shout out to Andrew for sending me this. It is the GEPrc M10 nano GPS that we'll be installing today. Andrew's a good friend of mine. We were friends over high school. We actually met flying drones. I was flying my drone on the field the one day, and he met up with me, and we became friends. We started flying together. We ended up in the same school, and we've been mates ever since. So yeah, big shout out to him for sending me that. Thanks, Booty. Right, without further ado, let's get into the build. Right, so in the packaging, let's see what we got. Heat shrink, wires, GPS is in there, and seems like it's just a manual. Is anything else in there? No. Right, so let's check. Looks like we got our Jeepers. That is tiny. That is really small. So this once again is the nano GEPrc M10 GPS. Yeah, really nice. Born for FPV, really cool. So yeah, there's the name if any of you want to check it out online. But yeah, that's really tight. And let me just see if I can get a ruler here. So yeah, you guys can see that's 1.5 centimeters. It's quite small. Really tiny, but good for weight saving and all that good stuff. Got our wires included. I did have to change the order of these wires for my flight controller. Luckily I checked that because yeah, it was all wrong. So just make sure you check on that before you guys wire up to your particular flight controller. Also, look at this, bro. The GEPrc sent me a heat shrink. It's like 3 times the size of my GPS. What am I to do with this? Won't be using that. Anyways, let's check the user guide. Oh no. Oh no, you gotta be joking me. Oh no. See, this is a bit of a problem because I don't speak, I eat fucking bat language. So we're just gonna have to oh. Very good. Very good. English. That's how we like it. So let's set this down over here. There's that GPS over there. And this is what we got. We got the M10 Nano. So looks like we're just going to need ground, 5 volts, TXRX. Simple enough. Then we'll just go into Betaflight and set up that port. I believe I'll be using port 6 on this flight controller. You guys will just have to check what port you guys are linked up to. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to put the Betaflight stuff in this video, but we will see what comes about. Right, so let's get into the soldering part of this video. So first, what I always like to do is tint up my wires. So it's not the newest soldering iron that I have, but she works. She gets a lot hotter than a lot of soldering irons out there. She is a bit of a behemoth of a machine, but she does in fact work. So just ever so slightly tinting up those wires. Getting a good amount of solder on them just to prep them for the install. Right, that should be enough. Okay, then without further ado, we get our we get going. So seems like ground will be the first one on here. Doesn't matter what order you do it in. Maybe let me just add some solder to each of these pads. Just to get them all nice and soldered up. Are a bit spiky, that's just because I don't have flux. You guys definitely want to get you some flux if you're working on your builds, but there we go. Should be good. Right, so first wire is ground, so let's get that hooked up. Right, there we go. Nice little solder on there. Next is our 5 volt. So let's get that hooked up. Right over there. Let's maybe just get that a little bit back. Looks good. Next part is our, what is this? next to ground will be our T. So T will go to R. If you guys aren't familiar with that, always remember your T port on the flight controller goes to the R port, your RX on your GPS. So TX to RX, RX to TX. Should be simple enough. And then lastly, we just have our RX to TX. So it's pretty much done. Let's get a nice zoom in there for you guys. Nice clean solder job. Not the best, but it'll do. Right, so now that we have the GPS wired up, on to the next. Swiftly, just got to get my Allen wrenches out. What are they? Allen keys. Just to undo, let's probably take this battery off first. That's fine, I'll leave it on. Right, so these different also just help with the hold down the coconut. Nice stuff. So I'll keep using for the stop Right, so now with the top plate off, we can finally get to work. Luckily, this is sort of just a plug and play situation. Only thing I really had to solder was the actual GPS. But other than that, seems like we're going to be good. So yeah, let's get it installed. Right, so GPS is going to sit inside here. There is a little gap. I don't know if I can show you guys on camera. There is the smallest of gaps that I can try and fit this plug through, and I'm going to try and do that without disassembling the entire back part, but let's see what happens. So just going to try that for the first part. Right, so seem to have got it through. I literally had to pause the video for that because of how long it took me to maneuver it through, but seems like I've done it. I had to use some tweezers and poke it around, and I even had to remove the sky hammer, but we seem to have got it through. I just want to prep a piece of tape quickly for it. I don't know how big it is. Let me just measure it once again from side to side. So seems like that's about 1 centimeter, and then we got about 1.5 centimeters. So just cutting a piece of double-sided tape for that, because I just need that to be stuck down quite well on anything falling off in flight or anything. So just gonna attend to that quickly, but I think the bulk of the work is done. Biggest problem was getting this wire through this hole, man. You see what the problem was is my VTX antenna was stopping it right there, the MMCA. So let's just size this up real quick. Seems about good. Just need to cut it a little bit shorter on the one side. And then cool. Seems about right. Just gonna stick that on there, just like so. And then there we are. We got our double-sided tape on there. So that's great. Let's pull it all the way through quickly. I'm not tug too hard on these wires and have anything snap on me. They are quite durable, but last thing I want is any of those guys snapping on me. So that seems about right over there. Seems pretty good. Just like that. So yeah, seems like it's focused up quite well. How did I have this wired? I think it was like this. So let me just move you guys back into frame. Just have to figure out how I had this wired up in the first place. I think it was just around like that and on. I think I might just put this back on real quick in terms of screwing those screws back in. Let's just have a look here, just so that everything's nice and tight and I don't have to mess around with holding things in place. Things also break when you have them lying around, so just keep that in mind for when you're doing these types of things. Get that guy cinched up nicely inside there. Both of them. These are titanium nuts that I picked up, so they're quite strong. Got them all over the bottom of the frame. I think the only ones that aren't titanium, even though they look like it, are the stack bolts, but other than that, all of them are titanium bolts, because I hate stripping bolts. It's the worst thing out there. I'd literally run a marathon before I strip a bolt. So let's check this out. 3D prints that Benji made me are quite nice. They just open straight up. Keep all my electronics connected up nicely. And yeah, I do have the wiring diagram right here in front of me. As far as I see, I do not need the SATA and the ACL wires for this. I'm only running the obviously just normal straight GPS. So I just need what, my 5-volt ground. I've got T6 and R6. So yeah, just in terms of that, sorry, the filming is a little bit rigidy, but let's see what's going on. You guys can see the beautiful Speedy BF7 over there. It's been doing me absolute wonders. So yeah, I just need to see how I'm going to route this around. I think I will just maybe even send it through here, through this little loop. Might not be the best alternative, but it definitely make me feel better that it's out of the way and all of that. I don't want to loop it, but I'm feeling like I might just, yeah, I don't know, maybe that's a bad idea to loop it. What shall we do? What shall we do? So it's got to connect to this middle plug just over here. I think I've got it all connected up already in the correct alignment. I just need to make sure on all the connections. And then I think she plugs in straight over there. But now I've got a little bit of extra play in the wire. I thought I had it cut up nicely, but obviously it doesn't do the best job on that front. I just want this actually out of here. I just want to go underneath the power wire. Right, I think that should be good. Just about ready to connect up. Just need to see here. Okay. And I think that's in pretty good as well. So thumbs up on that. That is nice and snug. If I just refer to my wiring diagram quickly just to make sure that everything's good. Got the GPS. Okay. That's it, guys. So that's the installation done. Can put this guy back on. And yeah, guys, I cannot stress enough to you to just double check your connections. Always just make sure you don't want to blow anything, you don't want to break anything. So yeah, always just be extra mindful on your connections. Double check, triple check. I always quadruple check everything because I would hate to break anything. But yeah, so that's the install done. Let's move on to the next part. Right. So as we move on to the Betaflight part of the video, yeah, let's get into it. So opening Betaflight, I'm just going to connect the quad up quickly. Really like the F7 flight controllers and the new Type-C connection is really good. So yeah, right, so off the bat I just came into my ports tab. I enabled my GPS as well as put it on an 11.5200 baud rate as specified by manufacturer. I then also went into my configurations tab and added GPS to my just turned on GPS, just to reword that. But yeah, auto baud and auto config as well as U blocks. Just check in your manual that you got with your GPS, just to check what the manufacturer specifies for that. But let's see, on my receiver tab, I've got everything working right. I just need to check quickly. I need to add a switch for the GPS rescue, because I'm about to show you guys how to add GPS rescue, but I need to add that to a specific switch on my receiver, so I'm just going to set that up quickly. Right, so as I mentioned earlier in the video, I am flying the TX16S with a 1 watt Hglrc 2.4 gigahertz module for my connection. With whatever remote you're using, all you got to do is go into your mixes. Mine's right there. Screen's quite bright, but I'm going to show you guys sort of how to do it. So I'll just select channel 8. Do not want to use beep. I'm going to use my SB switch, and by toggling the switch, you'll see that it goes straight to the switch. So it's the switch that I'm using. So yes, I'm going to select SB, just like that, and then I'm going to name it. I'll call it rescue, and then we'll just hit return, and then that's pretty much done. That's it. Right, so as we move back to Betaflight, let's just test quickly that the switch I set up now is working, and it is indeed working. We've got it all working. I just need to check quickly that all my other rates are still set up. So I got arm, which is fine. I got angle and a horizon. I think I do have a beeper set up. What did I set that to? Okay, that's switch aux to, so I will set that up again. Let me just add my GPS rescue range. So I'm going to say this is port 5. Was it not port 5? What was it? aux 4. So add range aux 4, and that seems fine. So cool. That's working just fine, and all we have to do now is just save, and then we're good to go. I will do some other configuration tips. If you do go into the GPS port, you'll see that everything is in fact working. Seems to be quite accurate. I have blurred out my location so that you guys don't come and find me when you lose your quads because my review is so terrible. But yeah, all seems to be good. Everything seems to be fine. We got distance from home, we got speed, so yeah. My altitude seems right as well. It's quite high, but I am in Johannesburg, which is quite high from the ocean, so yeah, from sea level, which is normal. But other than that, everything is working, and that should wrap it up for setting up GPS and all the Betaflight configurations. Yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching.